Today at Negative Supply, we're proud to introduce our most long-awaited and highly anticipated product to date, the ProFilm Carrier 35 for 35mm film scanning. Today we're introducing our most long-awaited and highly anticipated product to date, the ProFilm Carrier 35. Before we talk about what makes our ProFilm Carrier 35 unique and improved, let's talk about the past here at Negative Supply. The very first product we introduced was this, the Film Carrier Mark I. This product was introduced on Kickstarter way back in 2019, and since that time, thousands of this product have been sold and used by photographers, institutions, and film labs all across the world. And in that time, we've also had the unique and huge opportunity to gather a tremendous amount of user feedback from prosumers, weekend film shooters, professionals, labs, museums, and everything in between. And as a result of that feedback and that time that this product has been on the market, we now have the ProFilm Carrier 35. Several things set the ProFilm Carrier 35 apart from the Film Carrier Mark I. First and foremost is the range of formats you're able to scan in a single capture with this carrier. The ProFilm Carrier 35 works seamlessly with 35mm half frame, full frame, and panoramic sizes, with a wider film gate allowing you to scan all of these films in a single image capture if you so choose. Not only is the film scanning path wider, but there's the inclusion of 3 different masks for specific formats of 35mm film that you slide into the carrier, and they allow you to block off extraneous light to the left and right of the image and to block off the next image or the previous image in the roll. Most of us are used to standard 24x36mm full frame 35mm film, something like you would shoot in a Nikon F5 or a Leica M3. But many of you over the past few years have asked for support for more unique 35mm formats, half frame being one of them, like you would shoot in an Olympus Pen F, FT, or FV. This is something that we have taken into consideration, and now, for the first time in a Negative Supply product, full support for half frame scanning is included in this device. The half frame mask comes in the box. You don't have to make any other purchase. Every ProFilm Carrier 35 includes this. In addition to half frame and full frame, you do have a panorama mask included by default. So there are real popular cameras out there like the Hasselblad X-Pan or the Fuji TX1, really fun, really cool cameras. There are also cameras like older wide lux and pan-on panoramic cameras that are a lot of fun to use, and up until now there hasn't been a great way to seamlessly and quickly scan those negatives and positives with Negative Supply. Now that's changed, and we're thrilled to report that. One similarity between our older Film Carrier Mark I and the new ProFilm Carrier 35 is that both of them have a solid CNC machined aluminum housing. That makes the carrier robust, durable, and a professional tool meant for professional use over an extended period of time. If you've previously used our Film Carrier Mark I or our Film Carrier 120, you'll know that they both have a film advance knob on the side. The ProFilm Carrier 35 has the same. There has, however, been a significant improvement made into the efficiency and the smoothness of advancing from frame to frame. That's thanks to the inclusion of our smoothest running bearing ever for a Negative Supply film carrier. This carrier has 3 matching CNC machined aluminum knobs, 2 on the top and 1 on the side. The one on the side, of course, is for film advance from frame to frame, but the 2 on the top have a unique use case. Simply unscrew both of these, several turns. These knobs come out of the top, and then the film cassette drops out from the bottom. The cassette that comes pre-installed on every ProFilm Carrier 35, regardless of how you purchase it, is our standard cassette, which is perfect for half frame, full frame, and panoramic 35mm film, showing you the full image area, typically with a thin line on all sides. It, however, will not show sprockets or film rebate information. The significance of these top knobs and being able to take out the standard cassette, however, leads me to my next point. And that's one of our optional accessories, our full border scanning cassette for the ProFilm Carrier 35. Just as easy as I took out the standard cassette, I can install the full border one. Slide it into the side, put my knobs back in place, twist until they're nice and tight, and I'm good to go. This method of switching between standard and full border scanning is far faster than it is either for our Film Carrier Mark I or our basic Film Carrier 35. When we launched our Film Carrier Mark I several years ago, we could have never predicted how large and broad our ecosystem of both basic and pro film scanning tools would be. At that point, we didn't even know we'd have a basic line of film scanning tools. But as a result of that now, it's changed the way we look at implementing pro film scanning tools here at Negative Supply. And with that in mind, the Pro Film Carrier 35 can be seamlessly adapted either to our 5x7 Light Source Pro via the ProMount Mark II system, or it can be adapted to our 4x5 Light Source Basic with a simple adapter plate that seamlessly attaches your Pro Film Carrier 35 to the light source. Incorporating the new Pro 35 carrier onto either of our basic light models is quick and simple, and it creates a very compact, travel-friendly, and just small setup that really works for any at-home scanning station, even if you have very limited space. As the word Pro would suggest, our Pro Film Carrier 35 seamlessly integrates within our ProMount Mark II system in 2 steps. 1, take the main basic to Pro adapter plate and slide it into the ProMount Mark II. Once you've done that, either take your 4 M4 machine thumb screws or 4 standard 2.5mm screws that would come with most of our products, either is fine, and go ahead and put those back into the ProMount Mark II. Once that's done and those are tightened, you're going to take your Pro 35 adapter plate, put it on top, and then the Pro 35 mounts straight to it. Once you've done that, you can incorporate other ProMount accessories like our dust removal brush. Then you can take the whole system and put it on top of our 5x7 Light Source Pro, either 95 or 99 CRI models. There are a few different ways to buy our Pro Film Carrier 35. You can buy it a la carte on its own, or you can buy it with our ProMount Mark II system, which is going to come with the adapter plates, the brush, and the carrier. And then another option you'll have, just in terms of drop-down menus on our website, you can select the Pro Film Carrier 35 with our full border cassette, or you can select the Pro Film Carrier 35 with the ProMount Mark II and the full border cassette. One thing to keep in mind though, because we firmly believe in modularity here at Negative Supply, is that you can always just start with the Pro Film Carrier 35. You can come back later and buy the adapter plate to connect it to your basic light, or buy both of the plates to connect it to a ProMount Mark II. You can come back later to buy the ProMount Mark II. You can come back later to buy the full border cassette. There's no right or wrong way inherently to build your system. Our Pro Film Carrier 35 had been in research and development for nearly a full calendar year. And with that in mind, we are all absolutely thrilled to finally unveil it to you all and to the world. Thanks for tuning into this video. I'm sure you probably have a question or two. And if you do, there's a whole bunch of us here at Negative Supply that have answers for you. So feel free to comment down below, sign up for a concierge call on our website if you have more questions, or send us a live chat message on the website or a DM on Instagram. We'd be thrilled to answer your questions and make sure you get the support you need. And as always, go shoot some film.